Do you think we should talk about our TARDIS project?
I think we should, because I think our TARDIS project, while a long time in the making,
it's really not though. In the grand
scheme of like something of this size and of this cost, it's not been that long in the thinking. Like,
yes.
If you're going to be doing something, should we talk about the thing that we're doing before we start talking about it?
Yes.
Okay. So Matt and I have been hankering for quite some time to have our own TARDISes. And we have banded together with a couple of our friends. We've been working on some measurements. We've been, getting our bits and pieces sorted, sharing our research, and we are pretty close to having the whole thing happening, right?
I certainly hope so. I think it's been sort of a project of fits and starts, as many of these things are.
I think anytime you have a project of like this size and this expense,
yeah,
you kind of need to you can't just like rush into it,
right? And I think we're sort of at a point now where, as with a relationship in high school, we're ready to take the next step.
I think we are.
We found a guy who's gonna be able to cut the pieces, because I guess, in my opinion, fundamentally the TARDIS is a box. It's a wooden box. I don't think it's very complicated, but when you look at like the way like Philip Wise did his build, was amazing.
Which is incredible.
I cannot imagine mine being half as good as his. And Philip's looks like it sort of came off a manufacturing line.
Yeah.
Like the fit and the finish is perfect. It's beautiful inside, it's beautiful outside. It's perfect.
That said, reading that thread, seeing him working with the table saw and the other saws and the laser cut, like all that stuff just scared the
yeah.
All of that stuff just scared the pants off of me.
The poo.
It scared the feces out of me. Yeah, no, like all that, like using a table saw, like I just know, like I would be using a table saw and be like,
right. Oh, there goes my hand. Well, I think that was sort of one of the things that's really dictated policy on this project.
Yeah.
I was very vocal about my fear of a table saw.
Which is great, because that reaffirmed my fear of the tables.
Like, my initial thought was, because when I read Philip Wise's Rebel Scum's thread on the RPF, which in my mind, like, that stands as one of the best threads on the forum.
Absolutely.
Because not only is it a detailed walkthrough of the entire build, but Philip also engages with an uncanny degree of patience all of the other people contributing to the thread. If everyone made a thread like that,
the internet would be a better place.
I think so.
I think the other thing about a thread like that, which, speaks to how great it is that you're reading along and you're like, I could totally do that. Absolutely do that. Like, he's just showing me exactly how it's done. I can do that.
No.
And then, you think about it for another 5 minutes and you're like...
So we actually got together with some folks at Gallifrey 1. I think it was one of the first sort of official meeting of the minds that people who were involved in building this. And we chose the path of contracting out the cutting of the wood. The plan is...
The general feeling was it's worth that money to keep all of our fingers.
Yes. Because I don't think I know a person who owns a table saw that hasn't had some sort of experience where they were either injured really badly or nearly lost at least one digit. So I want no part of that.
Yeah.
So plan is find the dude to cut it, which I think we found just the other day, and then have him cut 4 sets, and then we basically just do assembly. And unlike in Philip's build, we'll just be doing nail, hammer, and a little of the paste to fill in the nail holes.
Yeah.
Philip made a very sophisticated and beautiful build, but I think for our purposes, because we don't have the tools, the space, all the equipment, whatever, it'll be a much humbler build. But, again, riffing on what we were talking earlier, for 99% of the people who see a big blue box, they're either going to know it's a TARDIS or they'll have no idea why you have a big blue box in your backyard.
I'm sure there's going to be one asshole who's going to be like, use nails. The original didn't.
Okay, so that's TARDIS talk. Anything else we need to cover?
TARDIS talk. We're clicking black. The TARDIS brothers. Guys, my TARDIS is having trouble starting. Oh, your TARDIS is having trouble starting.
What's wrong? Tell me from the start. Sounds like he's got a bad motivator.
Maybe your chameleon circuit's acting.
Good one. Well, folks, I think that pretty much covers it, Ewan. Hey, so thank you for coming by, and I look forward to seeing what you come up with next on the internets.
I just hope you got 2.5 minutes of usable footage. Thanks, Matt. It's been a pleasure.
Hey, man, this is awesome. We should do it again sometime. Thanks for watching, and hopefully there will be more of these to come. Have a good night.